Yes, sir. A couple introductions we'll get you out of here. This is John O'Rourke.
Nice to meet you, John.
Mr. Ian Roberts.
Nice to meet you.
Peter Tencio.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Jerome Smith.
Come on, brother. What's up, fam? You know this.
Keith Williamson.
Nice to meet you.
Mary Woodbury.
Nice to meet you.
Jay Martell.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Tasha Robinson.
Come on, come on, come on. Feel that?
Emily George.
Feel that?
Before we go any further, let's set the stage for the most tragic Pokemon hardcore Nuzlocke in history. Stay till the end to see the rest of the meet and greet. So, if you're new to the Nuzlocke scene at the end of 2023, I've got you. You can only catch the first Pokemon of each new route. You've got to give it a nickname, for attachment reasons. And when a Pokemon is knocked out, it is considered dead. You can't use it anymore, turning Baby's first RPG into a thrilling battle of the minds, where the most brilliant competitor moves on, and the loser will be forgotten to time. Since these rules aren't hard enough, we go with hardcore mode as well. Battle style is set, so no switching when your opponent does, no over leveling past bosses, and no items in battle, at all. You work with the hand that you're dealt, and boy was I dealt a pretty rough hand. Meet Nacho, fledgling YouTuber and Twitch streamer. He's had a near flawless entrance to the Nuzlocke scene with an ORAS Nuzlocke and earned the title of Mr. Nuzlocke. He's about to embark on a new Pokemon adventure, which means it's time to pick a starter. I let the wonderful people in the chat decide my fate, and the poll has spoken. With mild irritation, we start our journey with Apollo Flame, the Charmander, named after my favorite character design in the Mega Man series, in hopes that I can learn to love this highly overrated Pokemon. Let's get right to it. We run errands for Oak and catch our first friend, Jimmy the Rat. A standard encounter, a good early game companion. Next up, with a 50% chance to get a Mankey here, we actually get the 10% Spearow encounter instead. It's a rare Pokemon, but it's honestly not great considering the first hurdle we'll have to overcome soon. Welcome to the team, Jack. With a bit of peer pressure, we do the fully optional rival battle as well. Let's get an iconic Nacho crit counter going, because it is the most unfortunate Nuzlocke, right?
It didn't feel... What the fuck?
But my luck is an insane pendulum, and it's time for something positive.
It is I, Spielerchew.
A hard-earned Pikachu means we continue the tradition. As cool as it is to have Pikachu, we have a huge problem. A huge problem. The first leader of Kanto is Brock. If you have Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Mankey, you can get past his Onix with the greatest of ease. Without those three, type advantage is not on your side. It's likely against you. Looking at this thing's stats, well, damn. With Onix's absurd defense stat, deceptively high speed stat, and Rock Tomb to slow us down, things look very dire out the gate. Metal Claw does nothing, and that's my only super effective move. We switch to Spielerchew to get rid of Onix's defense, since we're trapped by the bind anyway.
Bro, I think we deadass just lose Spielerchew here. But there is no other way to, like, get to the win here. Brock is a mother in this. Thunderwave? Thunderwave doesn't work. He's, it is a... whatchamacallit? It is a ground type. So Onix is a ground type. Dude, it's bad. I had no options here. And Metal Claw might not even kill. We might just wipe.
It's all up to Apollo Flame. If he misses here, the run is over. The video ends.
It was ugly, and you know I didn't want to do it, but that was seriously the only way we were going to win. Like, truly. That was the only way we win that.
That's not true. Spielermon pulled some snake shit on me when we did some PvP net battles, and this was highly satisfying. Goodbye, Spielerchew. May speed be with you. It really is out of the frying pan and into the fire though, because next up is Misty, where of course Spielerchew would have shined. Collecting the strongest Pokemon in the game for only 500 monies, we name her Yamato, because this is the child of Gyarados that we use in ORAS, Kaido. We also pick up Delicate Steve from Mount Moon.
Delicate Steve, yeah. I like it.
I'm not mad about this because I can make it work, but fate is cruel, and then I get a hint of what else I could have gotten, and then something even more rare right after. We try our hand for an oddish for Misty, but instead we get Tourist. Before we head to Misty, it's only appropriate to point out that my rival is named Sub Please. Look at that! And now's the perfect time to do so. Starting this channel with just my dad as my first subscriber at the time of me making this video, we just hit 500 subs. A massive milestone for me. The next goal that I aim to hit is 1,000, which might seem lofty, but I'm always aiming pretty high. Subscribing is free, and all it does is help me out and help you guys see when I post my next video. So thanks in advance. Now, with no hard counter to Misty's gym, we lead with Jimmy, who sneaks up and surprises everybody with a clean sweep. I didn't even have to bust out Old Reliable. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and seal her away. Yamato is way too powerful, which I learned from my previous Nuzlocke. Gyarados just trivializes everything. It's only after we beat the water gym that we get our oddish. Cruel, but appropriate. As usual, we don't really have a counter for the next gym, Lieutenant Surge. In Dig Cave, we get our Diglett, and appropriately name him
Joe Holes.
He's great, but he isn't really the best counter to Surge since it's the definition of a glass cannon. Aside from Joe Holes, the only other Pokemon that would be a hard counter is Geodude, which we can get from Rock Tunnel, trivializing a huge portion of the rut.
No.
Alright, no Geodude for me. I'll take this instead for my troubles. Alright, I have a backup plan, which is a Nidorina next to Vermilion.
The claws. Shit! Okay. You got me. We're getting drowsy.
So apart from Pikachu, our luck with encounters has been horrendous. We only have the guaranteed Joe and MJ, who has a horribly unoriginal name, I'm sorry. We also have Alucard the Arbok, who might end up being a sleeper hit. With Dig, Intimidate, and some surprising bulk, they might be able to come in clutch. Why is it named Alucard? Well, Ekans backwards is snake, Muck backwards is another word, and of course, Alucard backwards is
Castlevania.
No more prep time left, let's get in there. Pokemon 1 and 2 are no problem, but the Raichu tests my skills as Mr. Nuzlocke immediately.
No, 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 no. Not like this. The DPS race is on. I literally only did this as insurance in case he wanted to double team like a punk ass, which he did. But hopefully he shockwaves here. Stupid boy! Alright. Now he's probably gonna quick attack again. Yeah? Joe Holes?
So let's recap how the Nuzlocke has gone so far. Past Nacho, take it away.
Hard part's over. Next gym is Celadon, we sweep. And then after that is Koga, I think we sweep that too. And we'll have a lot more powerful members by then too, so...
3 hours later.
This is pretty challenging. Because if you're saying that like the Nuzlocke has been challenging so far, you're right. Every single gym has been like a fight for my life. Every Pokemon that I could have gotten that wouldn't help me is what I got. Instead of getting Mankey or Nidoran in Brock, I got Spearow, which is the opposite of what you would want. Instead of getting Pikachu, RIP, or Oddish, I ended up getting... I don't even remember, dude. Are you guys familiar with Elite Four Grimsley from Gen 5? He is a Dark type Elite Four member, and his whole belief is like, hey, you're not always going to be lucky. Sometimes things are going to be kind of rough, and you have to be okay with that. Grimsley literally has a quote that's like, it's better to master the cards that you're dealt rather than to complain about the hand you were given. You know, because he's like a gambler as well. And I've gotta say, I have massive respect for that type of perspective. It's a very mature quote for like a Pokemon game. Roll out.
Truth be told, I was mostly right. After beating Surge, the game does open up quite a bit, which means more new friends, more levels, and a leg up on whatever's thrown my way, yeah?
Because if he fakes out, then we're in a good spot. Okay, we're in a good spot. What the fuck?
She-Hulk survives the -1 Mega Punch, and Delicate Steve decimates Erica's gym. We challenge Sub Please. Apollo Flame continues to be a hindrance and almost gets soloed by an Execute, and we make a friend. One that has long passed from this world.
No, actually, wait. What's a dead franchise?
No, I'm just kidding. We name it Corvus, but just to rub salt in the wound, we also immediately find the rare Cubone encounter afterwards. That would have been pretty cool considering how strong ground types are in Gen 1. Between Jimmy the Rat and Alucard, the tower gets cleaned out easily as well. Now we take Corvus and use it to damn near guarantee ourselves possibly the best Pokemon in the game, Mafty. And to add icing to the cake, I do underage gambling and get a Dratini as my Celadon encounter. This is a Pokemon I was so excited for. Stitches, named after a new friend in the Nachoverse, is gonna do amazing things. Now, Koga's gym? Pretty smooth until you hit the muck. For 16 minutes straight, this thing outlasted a 3v1 by using Minimize and Acid Armor, exhausting Alucard and Mafty, and once again, Apollo Flame came out and did absolutely nothing. He missed 2 flamethrowers and then got sludged twice. That was his whole contribution to the entire gym battle. It was only taken down by Stitches and her pinpoint flamethrower. A long, stressful battle, but to celebrate, we got another encounter in the Safari Zone. And of course, this is what we find.
Oh my god! We ball.
Yeah, the cruelty of this run never stops. Imagine seeing the rarest Pokemon in the game and just failing to get any of them. Team Rocket time. After getting lost in Silphco for about an hour, Apollo Flame gets the run back on Sub Please's Execute, and he is still useless.
Yeah, there's no way that he uses Stump Spores twice. Damn, this thing is putting in work.
Also, a friendly reminder for my fellow Pokemon players, Shadow Ball's a physical move in Gen 2 and 3, and Alakazam cannot take physical hits at all. So don't worry about the Calm Mind, just punch his nose off, as hard as you can. It's a strategy that I'll save for later. Collecting Tomioka, a valuable member of the team, we square up with Giovanni. Things immediately fly off the handles.
We live that low def. Holy...
Also, just take a look at how hard this Rock Blast hit. This man hits all 5 and then gets a Stomp Flinch. I'm slowly becoming the Joker throughout this run, just slowly losing my sanity. The crazy thing is that after the Rhyhorn threat, Corvus destroys the rest of Giovanni's team. Nidoqueen can only use Poison Sting, and Kangaskhan can't use anything at all. So checkmate, old man. And now for Sabrina, another run killer. To quote one of my heroes, Alakazam can achieve Nirvana after spamming Calm Mind. We can't let it get to that point. But first, here's another PSA. Joe-Hole's Earthquake can take out 1, 2, 3 of Sabrina's Pokemon. And as for my plan against the Zam, it's the same as the old plan. How we feeling about Sabrina, by the way? Apparently I was subliminally obsessed with her because I kept accidentally coming back to her while trying to leave.
What do you mean by that?
I'd say this is the last little chunk of the game since it's just battle after battle. We pick up Shiv, the Aerodactyl, in case things get hairy. We name a coughing after my smelly coworker Jerry. I'm sorry, I mean Schmary. And then it's straight to Blaine. Joe-Holes takes out, once again, 1, 2, 3 Pokemon, even through an Intimidate. 2 intimidates though, that means it's time for Mafty to wear this guy down, and then we switch on his heel back to Joe Holes. This dude is really clutch. Now it's Giovanni time, again.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
We storm in there with Gen 3 Corvus and Levitate, and the newly renamed Nacho Hash, because MJ is such an uninspired name. It goes well, until it doesn't.
Revenge, that's gonna do base 120.
I really want you guys to know this specific Machoke was a complete menace. It almost soloed half my team, and then he brought out a second one. Promote Black Belt Takashi, cause Giovanni ended up being easier compared to him. It was a Tomioka sweep, and when Dugtrio showed up, it was once again checkmate. Nothing could hit Corvus again. Next up, sub please. Tomioka waxes 2/3 of his team. Mafty just cleans up the rest. Yeah, after Sabrina, things were smooth sailing up until we hit the league. So let's take stock of the situation here. We have nothing for Lorelei or Bruno, who are the very first members. I didn't want the team whittled down so early on, so I try and catch a last minute member, Magnemite, because steel types are busted in this gen.
He had a Pikachu, can't catch this one. I did not want Voltorb.
We get Vegeta instead. Well, even without perfect coverage or hard counters, I just go with my gut. Who were the 6 Pokemon in this journey that I trusted the most to bring home the gold? Corvus, Tomioka, Mafty, Stitches, Delicate Steve, and I guess Apollo Flame snuck his way in somehow. It all comes down to this. The plan for Lorelei was simple. Apollo Flame can't cut it because damn near every ice type in this game is also a water type. So with Mafty's thick fat and rest, we just whittle her team down. A slow process, but also the safest. Bruno would prove to be far more sinister. First, Hitmonchan gets a crit rock tomb on Corvus, putting us in a horrible position. Worse than that, for anyone who's ever done a Nuzlocke, you know how scary the Machop line can be. With a great move pool and ridiculous stats, it can just punch holes through your team. Delicate Steve makes a valiant effort to take down the Machamp, but with the illegal Citrus Berry, and with us at -1 speed thanks to yet another Rock Tomb, we have to bail him out. Stitch just switches in and cleanly lives a Rock Tomb. Knowing we can take another one if need be, we go for the kill. And then Bruno goes for hacks.
We live that. The most unfortunate of Nuzlocks, I'm telling you.
The smooth sailing we were used to is done, and the weight of the journey comes back in full force. It also doesn't help that a poll was started by my mod asking if I was gonna lose another Pokemon, which was extra tilting. Agatha was the easiest of the bunch. Between Delicate Steve and Mafty, we just steamrolled through her. Of course, this had to happen too.
Sludge Bomb is not what you want.
I swear she was supposed to be the poison type master, not Ghost. Lance time! Mafty does good wasting Lance's resources, and with Delicate Steve easily tanking Outrage, we put Tomioka in a position to just finish the job. Alright everybody, the moment you've all been waiting for. How do we put an end to the most tragic Nuzlocke of all time? One last time, we start with my rival, Sub Please. Truly it is my rival. Tomioka gets chipped by the Pidgeot, Apollo Flame gets a crit and one-shots it, which is a welcome surprise. He's actually useful for once. Mafty tanks multiple Hydro Pumps and then bro misses under the rain. Everyone point and laugh at him. And for what, the 3rd time? Mafty destroys yet another Alakazam. I give Apollo Flame one last chance to redeem itself against this Executor. No, just kidding. This Eggy can't even hurt Corvus, so we go to her instead. I can't risk Apollo disappointing me one last time. Tomioka takes a ton of damage against Arcanine, so we go to Delicate Steve, who just eats all hits coming his way. It's really impressive. Last mon left is Rhydon, with that horrible Rock Tomb. Mafty gets the Super Clutch Paralyze on Body Slam. Corvus comes in to chip away because Mafty can't live 2 EQs. I don't know how, but not only did I get super low rolls on my Shadow Ball, Sub Please uses full restore at the absolute last second possible. With little options left and the door to victory closing fast, we go all out. I live rent free in this guy's head and switch the team around to safely bring them in and stall for poison. We lose Corvus to a Rock Tomb and Apollo Flame is clear to finish the job. Then the next full restore procs. Credit where it's due, Apollo Flame did great here with 2 strong Earthquakes and dodging the Rock Tomb that would surely OHKO. But of course full restore number 4 negates all his effort. And with 2 Earthquakes not being enough, he goes down in 1. Admittedly, this thing was a massive hindrance. Here's what other mons think of Charizard.
Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch.
Fuck Zard X, fuck Zard Y, fuck Gigantamax Charizard. Anywho, Mafty can't come in because it gets outsped and dies to Earthquake. It's all up to Tomioka to outspeed and surf its way to victory. Except that it died to burn instantly, so I lied. Do you know who it's actually all up to? Delicate Steve, please put an end to this horrendous run. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the juice left to finish things. Nah, I'm kidding actually. He actually did finish the job. Gotcha! Massive shout out to Delicate Steve. I was debating bringing either him or Shiv, the Aerodactyl, but my gut told me that the surprising bulk it has would come in handy. And it did. Time and time again. With more gray hairs coming out of this run than I did going in, I hold my head up high by saying that I survived my first ever Pokemon FireRed Nuzlocke, a hardcore one even, and we finally beat Sub Please. Can you guys beat Sub Please too? Thank you all so much for watching this far. As stressful as this run was to do, it was also a ton of fun. We made a lot of new friends on stream, I learned a lot throughout the journey, and people got to witness the most dank Nuzlocke I've done yet. At the end of the day, an ugly win is still a win. I also hope that me being horrendously sick while recording this video didn't destroy the quality. So thanks for putting up with that as well. Let me know what you guys thought about the run down in the comments below. I always do read every single comment and I'm very curious to see what people think of this one. Like I always say, none of this success is possible without your support. It really does mean the world to me, so thank you guys. And without further ado, let's check out who was hot and who flopped. Till next time, take care everybody. Peace.
Couple introductions with the chat here. This is John O'Rourke.
Nice to meet you, John.
Mr. Ian Roberts.
Nice to meet you.
Peter Tencio.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Jerome Smith.
Come on, brother. What's up, fam? You know this.
Heath Williamson.
Nice to meet you.
Mary
All right.
Woodbury.
Nice to meet you.
Jay Martell.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Tasha Robinson.
Come on, come on, come on. Feel that?
Emily George.
Feel that? All right. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Daryl Stokes.
Come on. What's up, fam? How you doing? All right. Never forget about that, because that's all we got. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. All right. Oh, bring it in, bring it in. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah. Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you.
1/8 black.
Afternoon, my octoroon. Come on, bring it in there. Tuck that.
Yeah, I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog.
You tucking it in there? But you tuck though. But you tuck though. You tuck it.
I'm in there. Come in there. I'm in there.
All right. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Oh, she is so beautiful. I want another one. There you go. Precious. Beautiful. Beautiful. What's her name?
Oh, this is Livia Ruggi.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Miss Ruggi. All right. Yeah, come on. There he is. Boom. All right, very good to meet you. All right.
Here we go. Right this way, sir.